Chapter 7. As the snowfall thinned into gentle flurries, the group looked around. Beautiful statues made of ice were scattered everywhere. It was as if the friends had suddenly been transported to a wintry sculpture garden, with Elsa, the sculpture's creator, standing at the very center. Life-size statues looked like they had been carved by a master sculptor. They were incredibly detailed and conveyed life and emotion. There was a young Arendelian soldier wearing a courageous expression, holding his sword and shield high, battling an unseen opponent. There were two Northaldran women fiercely racing forward, holding their staffs firmly above them. There were two soldiers huddled together. Every sculpture told its own story. "What are these?" asked Kristoff. They look like moments in time," said Elsa, fascinated. Just like the other night in Arendelle, being inside the windstorm had helped her power grow in a new, mysterious way. She couldn't believe her magic had created such amazing works of art. Anna turned to Olaf. "What's that thing you say, Olaf?" she asked. He smiled. "Oh, my theory about how advancing technology as both our savior and our doom." Anna shook her head. "No, not that. Not that one. The one about cucumbers?" Olaf asked, excitedly eager to discuss his thoughts on the delightful, crunchy green thing and whether it was a fruit or a vegetable. "No, the thing about water," said Anna. "Oh, yeah," said Olaf. "Water has memory. True fact. It's disputed, but true." They looked at the statues again, wondering if they were looking at actual moments in time. Each sculpture was so realistic it seemed possible. The friends wondered whether each represented something that had really happened, and whether the people had once been real. Anna scanned the surrounding statues, wondering if they could provide answers to the many questions she still had about the enchanted forest and her father's story. Just then, the wind spirit returned, sweeping gently around Olaf. "Oh, the wind's back," he said. "I think I'll name you Gale." Everybody tensed, preparing for another possible storm, as Gale breezed around. Around Anna and lifted Elsa off her feet. Elsa quickly realized the wind was no longer aggressive. I'm okay, she said as Gale put her down. The wind spirit swirled around the ice sculptures. "Did you want me to make these?" Elsa asked. Gale rattled some leaves together as if in response to the question. Then Gale created a small opening in the trees, begging the group to move toward a sculpture that stood apart from the rest. The friends curiously formed a half circle around it. The statue portrayed a very dramatic scene of a boy being carried in the arms of a girl. The boy appeared to be unconscious as the girl cradled him. The girl's expression was one of concern and determination. Suddenly, Anna gasped. "Father?" she said, looking at the statue's face. The features were very distinct. She was certain it was King Agnar as a boy. "That's Father! Hey!" She repeated, gently touching its icy surface. Elsa leaned in and nodded. Then she looked closely at the young girl. She could see the girl was struggling with the weight of the prince. She could also see the fortitude reflected in the girl's face that would see her through the crisis. "This girl," Elsa said. "How? She's saving him," interrupted Olaf. She's Northuldra," said Kristoff. Elsa and Anna exchanged a look. The story of their father mysteriously making it out of the enchanted forest on the day of the battle popped into their heads. They had always wondered who had saved their father. Even he hadn't known. "Somehow someone saved me," he said, while telling them the story. It looked like the statue was showing them who that someone was, a Northuldra girl. The sisters were shocked to think that a Northuldra, one of the people who had supposedly tricked the Arendelians, had rescued their father on the day of the battle. One of his enemies had helped him escape the forest, so he could get home to Arendelle and become king. They had a Northuldra to thank for saving their father. Just then, a loud swooshing noise shook them from their thoughts. "What is that?" Anna asked, looking around suspiciously. The sound seemed to be coming from the trees. As they backed away from the sculpture of Prince Agnar and the girl, the swooshing sound filled the air, and Olaf let out a squeal and hid behind Anna, pulling her mother's scarf from the satchel and wrapping it around himself like a blanket as he attempted to hide. The noise continued and was soon joined by a loud banging. The noise got increasingly faster and louder until it seemed to surround them. The tall bushes in front of them trembled and shook. Something was hiding in them. Anna whipped around and cracked an ice sword off of one of the sculptures. Does that count as defacing a piece of art? She held it high and in one swift move swung it down, slicing through a thick shrubbery and revealing a group of Northuldra. They were standing beside a herd of reindeer and held their staff protectively. More Northuldra dropped from the trees. A young Northuldra woman named Honeymaren stepped up to Anna and said firmly, "Lower your weapon." She held her staff up, waiting for Anna to comply. But before Anna could react, the clanging of swords slamming against shields pierced the silence. 5 Arendelian soldiers appeared behind the group, poised and ready to fight. A lieutenant stood strong as he faced the Northuldra. His uniform was old and faded, like the uniforms of the soldiers, but it was clear that he was still very much in charge. "And you lower yours," he commanded in a deep voice.